Empty Room by Moderati, Chapter 9. The familiar sound of the royal call woke some ponies that were not already up and about. Roused by the echo of trumpets, the various citizens of Canterlot gathered under the royal balcony where Princess Celestia usually addressed them. Spike, red-eyed from crying, made his way down to the crowd to see what was happening. Maybe they had found the bastard that killed Twilight. He tried to ignore the comments and speculations of the ponies around him, so he waited for the princess to come out. When a weird-looking Princess Celestia stepped onto the balcony, a hush fell on the whole gathering. Pony stared in awe at the majesty of power embodied in her. She looked down at them with cold eyes. Spike couldn't help but have a bad feeling about this. My loyal subjects, the princess spoke into the quiet air, her voice reaching the whole assembly without problem. Yesterday was a trying time for me and my sister, but as the goddesses we are, we emerged victorious. I now stand before you, changed to reflect who I truly am. Murders erupted in the crowd below. Silence! Her order was quickly followed. The ponies below cringed in fear as a sudden heat wave hit them all, a physical manifestation of the goddess' fury. Some cowered while others simply stared in awe. You shall all address me by my proper title now. Queen Nightmare Flare! Her wings opened as Spike could fully appreciate the power she excluded, as just about every pony bowed down in deference. The power was not her usual warm magic. It was corrupted. It felt somewhat familiar to him. But I shall not rule alone, Nightmare Flare declared. She stepped lightly to the side as a very familiar figure stepped up next to her. Spike would never forget the first time he had saw her. The blue mane swaying in the wind, deep as the night, and glittering with stars. The dark coat, black as her heart, the purple regalia. I present to you my true sister, Nightmare Moon, Nightmare Flare announced. Immediately, several things happened. The crowd screamed, and the guards were forced to contain the confused ponies from stampeding away. One of the guard Pegasi drew a sword and charged towards Nightmare Moon, while another Pegasus, this one in a Wonderbolt uniform, also burst out of the crowd and charged the balcony. Their fight was short-lived, however, as out of nowhere another Wonderbolt staggered the first, throwing him hard to the front floor of the crowd, who gasped in horror. The guard was tackled by a flash of rainbow and landed painfully next to the Wonderbolt, a filly Pegasus rising over to stand over him. Rainbow Dash! Spike whispered in horror as the rainbow-maned Pegasus shook her head at the guard. Nah, the other pony taunted. What do you think you are, attacking our queens? It's that monster! The guard spat. Nightmare Moon! She did something to Princess Celestia! Spitfire? The gray-furred and white-maned Wonderbolt groaned as he got up, clicking back at his left wing, and hung useless at his side. Oof! He crumbled to the side as she kicked him from above, landing heavily on the floor, gasping for breath. Sapphire on the other hoof landed daintily in front of him. From the crowd, Spike couldn't believe what was happening. I gotta stop this! He took a couple of steps forward, only to be stopped by a hoof. He followed the leg up to see another familiar pony, who was looking hard at the events transpiring in the courtyard. You dare attack your queen! Nightmare's voice was cold, drew the attention of everyone back to the two nightmares. It seems a demonstration is in order. Spike's heart skipped when a third pony wandered between the two self-declared queens. Lost its interpretation as Twilight Sparkle looked down at the two Pegasi. She looked a bit different, but there was no mistaking her. Even some of the noble ponies around him gasped and whispered her name. My student in air, Nightmare Flare said coldly. Give these two, she spat out the word, rebels, a proper reward. Yes, my queen, Twilight said with a very slight bow, which had the nobles muttering about how inappropriate it was. They shut up immediately, though as Rainbow Dash and Spitfire quickly flew out of the way. Twilight's horn shone with a dark energy, her smile widening, with a laugh echoed by thunder. A lightning bolt struck the two downed Pegasi. For a split second, everyone could see their skeletons. The two thrashed around as electricity circled the bodies for what seemed like minutes, but in reality was no more than a couple of seconds. They landed in a heap, smoke coming out of them, but apparently still alive. Another lightning bolt, and another, and another. Spike couldn't watch. He turned around and buried his tear-covered face into the leg of the pony that had stopped him. He heard two more, then silence. After a few seconds, Nightmare Flare spoke again. Let this be a warning. Whoever dares attempt to attack either me or my sister will suffer a fate worse than these two. The whole crowd was quiet. A new reign has begun. That of the Queen's sisters, Nightmare Moon declared after a moment. Night and day will no longer be. Both of the Alicorn's horns glowed. Slowly, the sun started moving up its normal cycle slowly, but still faster than normal. The gathered ponies stared in awe at the blatant display of power. Soon, the sun reached its midway point just above the castle. There was a murmur just as the sun stopped, and before horrified looks of every pony, the moon slowly rose, its course tinking towards the sun until finally it covered it, creating an eclipse. Rejoice! Nightmare Flare called out. The age of the eternal eclipse has begun! Hey, come on, Big Mac! Spike whispered angrily. The little dragon had reluctantly followed the draft pony after he had been stopped him from charging into the open and confronting Twilight Sparkle. Since then, Big Mac had been quiet, despite Spike's constant badgering. Where are we going? I need to get to Twilight! He stuttered. Did you see what she did? Something's wrong with her! Yep, the draft pony said. But that doesn't mean we should rush in. The dragon growled. And what about Rainbow Dash? She was acting weird too. Since when does he take orders or defend Nightmare Moon? And don't forget that Applejack was with them too. What happened to her? Do you think she's okay? The red pony stopped cold and looked down at the small dragon. Spike gulped, but Big Macintosh was sad. We can't trust any of them. What? Spike could not believe his ears. But why? I would like to know that too. Another voice said from above. The pair jumped when a strong-looking Pegasus landed in front of them. His green eyes drilled to the pair. His wings opened to block their path. Hey! Spike said suddenly. I know you! You're Soren! Rainbow Dash told me about you! The Wonderbolt nodded, his grim expression not leaving his face. I need to know why Spitfire did that to Blizzard, he growled, and why he had to die! Big Mac sighed and looked around. Did any opponent follow you? The Pegasus shook his head. The draft pony nodded and indicated he should come with him. Nightmare Flare, Nightmare Moon, Twilight Spark, Spitfire, and Rainbow Dash walked away from the balcony, slowly making their way towards the court. Now that that has been dealt with, we will need to ensure we get loyal servants. Nightmare Flare said. Hey! There's no one more loyal than me, Rainbow Dash said, and I'm your servant. Nightmare Flare glared at the Pegasus. That might be true, but you would do well to learn how to win and how to talk to your queen. I've been thinking about that, sister, Nightmare Moon said. You have Rainbow Dash, Twilight, and Spitfire. I would like to recruit a couple of assistants for myself. Nightmare Flare stopped, followed by the whole procession. Who do you have in mind? The Assassin's Guild has always had the utmost respect for me. For centuries they have prayed to the moon for guidance, and to the night for protection. I say it is time I pay them a visit and get exact payment for services rendered. Nightmare Flare laughed. Somebody in particular? Yes, a pony I have blessed from my distant prison on many occasions. One of the best, if not the best. The Dark Alicorn smiled. Silent Jade. It took the other ponies a second to realize that Nightmare Flare's jaw was actually open as she stared at her sister. Realizing her state, the Flame Alicorn closed her mouth. Absolutely not. Why not? Twilight asked. Because, dear Twilight, Silent Jade once stepped into my sister's room, stole one of her jewels, and left a note detailing how many ways she had found to get into the room and how she could have killed my sister. Nightmare Moon said. The white alicorn growled. So, it's a she. I always wondered. In any case, she called it her civic duty to let me know in writing how pathetic my security was back then. Nightmare Flare growled. Even if she couldn't kill me, it was disturbing. But it is safer now, isn't it? Nightmare Moon countered. Her sister grudgingly nodded. How do you know she'll accept? The Dark Alicorn smiled. As I said, she owes me a lot of favors, and I still have to visit the guild to warn the guildmaster that I am taking her under my service indefinitely. Go ahead, Nightmare Flare said, not happy. At least I'll know where the little weasel is now. She won't be trying anything. She glared at her sister with some trepidation. She won't be trying anything, right? Not without royal orders, sister. Fine, go! Applejack held her own room in the castle. There was a bowl with fresh fruit, including apples from Sweet Apple Acres, bananas, strange little brown things that the servant had identified as kiwis, and oranges. The bed was 4 times the size of her own, with white linen and puffy pillows. Her hat lay on it, discarded. The 3 windows offered an amazing view of most of Camelot. It was a corner suite. There was an adjacent room with a marble bath and other amenities. The stone floor was mostly covered by a circular carpet with the sun embroidered on it. The walls of the room had little nooks for scented candles, a small lamp to sit on the bedside table. While she had always dreamed of being able to afford a suite in an expensive hotel, she held no excitement for her being there. None at all. One of the windows faced the Plaza of the Sun, where Nightmare Flare had talked to her subjects. So she hadn't been able to hear anything. Applejack had stared forlornly at the 2 alicorns as they addressed the crowd. She witnessed part of the attack, and she had seen what Twilight, sweet, bookish, nerded, fretful, eager to help Twilight had done. Her friend was gone. Completely gone. Hey, even Rainbow Dash had somehow succumbed to this madness. What was happening to every pony? How long before the whole castle was corrupt? How long before she turned? She closed her eyes. Would she be as ruthless? It was wrong. So wrong. What had happened? It was not normal for Rainbow Dash to defend either nightmare, or to stand by and allow something like that had happened to take place. She groaned. What would happen to every pony in Ponyville once word came out? What would Big Macintosh think of her sister's friends helping such monsters? Would they believe she was on their side? What did Apple Bloom do? Her blood ran cold. What would Sleep Bell do without her sister? Applejack might be able to go back, but Rarity, Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy. She gritted her teeth. How in the name of all apples was she going to explain what happened to Rarity to Sleep Bell? How could she face her? And Scootaloo. That family's host would be destroyed if she ever found out that her heroine, Rainbow Dash, was a Nightmare Moon follower. As she sank deeper in despair, she heard laughs outside her door. I really don't know what they were thinking. Twilight's voice reached her. Attacking the queens. She can imagine the unicorn shaking her head sagely. Utter folly. But did you see us? Rainbow Dash's voice asked. Spitfire was like, BLAM! And I was like, whoosh! Kick! It was very impressive, Rainbow Dash. Twilight admitted. I would love to continue chattering, but this is my stop. And you know we have a lot to do later today. Yeah. Hey, before you go, do you know anything about that pony Nightmare Moon medicine? Rainbow Dash asked. Applejack growled at how easily the Pegasus could talk about their enemy. Silent Jade, Twilight asked. No, I don't know anything about her, but she's as good as the Queen makes her sound. Well, it will be interesting having her around, that's for sure. Anyway, are you sure you don't want any help with Applejack? I might still, Spitfire asked. No, Twilight's voice was firm. She's to remain untouched by any pony but me. If you say so. Spitfire sounded doubtful. As she stood, Applejack decided. There was no way she was going to fall for Twilight's tricks again. She heard the pony say their goodbyes, and then the door started opening. The moment it was open, though, the Earth Pony charged forward, or would have. A twilight spark not levitated her off the ground the moment she saw her.
Trying to escape my apple pie,
The unicorn asked with a smile. Don't call me that! And put me down!
Well, somebody's grumpy,
Twilight said, depositing her on the floor after she had closed the door with magic. I just saw you kill 2 opponents! Applejack shouted.
Easy, you'll disturb the neighbors.
Twilight hissed. Then it was serious. They attacked the queen. That's punishable by death. And you had to execute them yourself? Applejack cowered, walking away to look out the window. How could you, Twilight? I'm sorry. Nearby snored. Sure you are. There was a rustling sound behind her and a sniff. Applejack gritted her teeth. She was not falling for it. Not again. I'm sorry, Applejack. The cow pony remained silent, looking out and listening to Twilight as he sniffed pitifully behind her, wanting, but not daring to turn to Twilight's bark that once deceived her. Fool her once.
I had to,
Twilight insisted, her off touching Applejack's shoulder.
What do you want me to do?
Let me go! Applejack shouted. She turned around and was startled to see tears streaming down Twilight Spark's face. But she was still angry. Stop following those murderers! How can you think that I will believe you suddenly developed a conscience? I saw you. You could have stopped after the first lightning bolt, but you did 6 times. 6 times! Twilight had withdrawn into a small ball as she stared at Applejack. She was so harmless the apple farmer almost forgot her anger. Twilight, there's no excuse for what you did. Snap back into reality!
But I love Nightmare Flare,
Twilight shouted.
She brought me back. She's practically raised me before then. She's my family.
Your real family is not them. Your real family was Rarity and Fluttershy. Your real family included Pinkie Pie, Princess Celestia, not Nightmare Flare. Applejack closed her eyes as she threatened to cry, not wanting to show any weakness to the purple unicorn. You let them die. And you did something to Rainbow Dash, and now she's crazy like you. I'll hate you! You're heartless! She heard gobbling. The door smashed closed. She opened her eyes. Twilight was gone. She stared at the door. What the hell happened? Applejack stared slightly at the door. Twilight Spark just ran out because of what she had said. Has he really hurt the unicorn's feelings that bad? The door slowly opened and Twilight Spark peeked in with a smile.
Am I forgiven?
No! Are you bipolar or something? Twilight frowned.
Well, I am bi.
Bipolar? Applejack squeaked as Twilight made her way into the room again, closing the door behind her and swaying sensibly as he walked towards her. Twilight smirked. Spitfire traced her hoof gently on Rainbow Dash's back. The blue-coated Pegasus was lying on her stomach, apparently distracted.
You okay, Rainbow Dash?
Spitfire asked as she lay next to the other Pegasus, who was busy playing with something with her friends, with her hose.
Oh no,
Rainbow Dash sighed.
I'm just thinking. About what? My friends. Oh. I've always been loyal, you know.
The blue Pegasus sighed, glancing down at the Castle of Nightmares amulet in her hose. She kept turning around and around.
For as long as I have a memory, I've had this. And I've known my duty. But I never knew it was going to be so hard.
Spitfire looked away quickly. Rainbow Dash's eyes followed her reaction, a frown crossing her face. Letting the amulet fall to hang from its chain, Dash stood up and walked towards the door.
Where are you going?
Spitfire asked.
I need some air to think and remember.
The Rainbow Main Pegasus said.
Oh, are you sure I can't help?
Spitfire dropped her hoof as she watched her open the door. Rainbow Dash looked back to her over her shoulder.
Spitfire, don't you ever regret what happened to Blizzard?
Wonderbolt was silent for a few seconds.
No. He betrayed our queens.
Rainbow Dash looked away.
I see. I'll be back in a little bit.
The door closed behind her, leaving Spitfire to stare at guiltily, her hoof going constantly to hold her own amulet. Rainbow Dash watched silently through the holes of Candlelight Castle. Servants and guards all gave her a wide berth, averting their eyes and trying their best not to draw her attention. She wasn't used to this. Or was she? Pegasus shook her head. She had to be right. The council prepared every point for this in this kind of reaction. It was normal that what would happen once their queen stepped up, and the guardian ruled from the shadows. She stopped, confused. But was it her loyalty to the nightmares and her friends? Dash groaned. She was developing a headache. Maybe she should go out and fly. Do a few practice loops like she had been doing ever since she was a filly. The Wonderbolts wouldn't choose a simple, but how has she found time to practice when she was being taught in secret by the council? She started walking again, slowly. No! She stepped outside the upstairs room when she heard the Earth Pony shout.
Oh, come on, apple pie.
Twilight's voice came out.
You know you like it. It's just a feather.
I don't care. You're not testing me with that, especially later. There's a crash and sound galloping behind the door.
Hey, stop that. Look what you did to my beautiful straps.
Twilight, listen to me, girl. You're not a filly faller.
How would you know?
I just know. It's an evil thing that's happened to you. You're not yourself. Twilight's voice turned slightly deeper.
Is this my self?
No, so am I. Listen, Rainbow Dash stared straight ahead and turned around slowly.
Yeah, I should take flight.
She walked away, not noticing the minute piece of metal that had fallen to the floor. Nightmare Moon looked down at the unicorn, sitting petulantly before her.
And that is how it is. Do you understand?
The unicorn nodded.
Will you join my cause then, silent jade?
The unicorn in front of her started, and then stared at the unicorn. She hesitated.
I do owe you.
She looked behind her at something hidden in the shadows.
Trust me,
the dark unicorn said.
Like you did so many times in the past when you prayed to the moon and stars for inspiration and help in your endeavors. I did not know I was praying to you.
The unicorn replied, glancing at the unicorn with suspicion. The unicorn smiled.
Did I ever fail you, though?
A bitter smile returned.
No. Then trust me again.
Nightmare Moon said. The unicorn sighed, shaking her mane.
Fine. Well, I need some things first.
The dark unicorn nodded.
Just make sure you're not seen.
The assassin barked a laugh. Chapter 10. I see you brought friends, Midnight said when Big Macintosh walked into the main cavern, spelled by Spike and Soren. Can they be trusted? The draft pony nodded. Spike stared.
Midnight, sir! What are you doing here?
Midnight walked up to the both of them and gave them a hard look, ignoring the small dragon for the moment and the bewildered look from Big Mac. Yeah, these two seem clean. What about her? The three blinked. Her? Soren asked, blinking in confusion. They followed Midnight's eyes to the entrance of the cave, where a mint-green unicorn with a viridian mane and white stripe appeared on it, meet to the sun and attention. Laurel? Big Mac and Spike shouted, looking surprised. The unicorn turned and tried to run, but Soren was already landing before her. Sorry, but you're not going anywhere.
But I...
Lyra stammered, tearing up a bit.
I'm sorry. I was just curious. I saw what happened today, and when I saw Big Mac and Spike, I wanted to ask them what was going on.
Bring her in, Midnight said. She seems to be clean too. And Big Mac seems to know her. Whatever that means, Soren muttered. Then turned to the unicorn. Well, you heard him. She meekly went to the cavern with Soren while Big Mac took a look outside to ensure they were really alone. They closed the doors. Well, she's not the only one who wants to know what's happening, Pegasus said gruffly. I want an explanation for what happened out there.
Did something happen?
A voice asked. The three recent arrivals turned to see another unicorn emerging from another room. Trixie? Lyra and Spike shouted, looking surprised.
Do you guys do that a lot?
Midnight asked, eyebrow arched. The unicorn mare spared him a glance, but tried out the big Macintosh, hovering really close to him in an almost intimate manner, which had both the dragon and musician trained confused glasses.
The great and powerful Trixie would like to know how you fared, Big Macintosh.
Tracy said, referring slightly to her stage persona, which he recognized as small dragon. The draft pony blushed slightly. I'm fine, but something horrible's happened. He looked up at Midnight. Both Princess Celestia and Princess Luna have been turned into nightmares. Twilight Sparkles lived them, as well as Spitfire with the Wonderbolts and Rainbow Dash. The navy blue unicorn narrowed his eyes.
Then things are worse than I thought. I had hoped the Guardian would not be able to corrupt either sister. Whatever happened to Princess Celestia must have taxed her willpower greatly.
I don't know what happened to the princesses,
or even Rainbow Dash.
But I want to know, Soren said.
The Spitfire I know wouldn't have done what she did to Blizzard.
Midnight sighed.
Well then, tell me exactly what happened.
Rainbow Dash flew around Camelot Castle, doing loops and twists in the airs, barrel rolls, spins, and everything short of Sonic Rainbow.
Each turn, each pull of gravity made her think again and again on what happened that day. While performing an animal pony, she turned and recalled leaving with Twilight to help Princess Celestia. Pulling up hard, she let herself go into a tail slide,
to toward Camelot Castle,
arguing with Rarity about ghosts. That brought her to Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy. She gritted her teeth with the pang of guilt over the loss of her friends. Why? Why didn't they give up and serve the nightmare gods as they should have? She hated having to pretend to fight. She pulled a cobra maneuver, her body shaking as she forced herself up. Was that what had happened? Was she pretending? Well, she thought Twilight Sparkle was dead. She wanted to kill those responsible. But the cloak, hadn't it been a member of the Council of Nightmares that did it? She scissored through the clouds. She should have been calmer. It was all for the Council, right? Growling, she dove into an inside loop, aiming for a standing 8. Her eyes constantly sparkling around her as she dropped down the loop. For a brief second her medallion floated up into her eyes. It was set in many places, the luster almost gone. Something else caught her attention. Racing from the castle, a chariot was pulled by a couple of Pegasi that had taken off. Curious, she forgot about her medallion and flew down to take a closer look.
Rainbow Dash, Nightmare Moon said, once she had approached enough to see her. She was riding the chariot with another pony who was dressed in black.
What brings you here?
Easily keeping on with the Pegasi, the rainbow-maned Pegasus felt a bit weird about talking to her queen.
I just need time to think.
The queen remained quiet for a few seconds of flight, observing the Pegasus, who didn't pull away as she didn't want to offend her.
Join me here,
Nightmare Moon said, making space for the Pegasus to land on the chariot.
I'd love to, Your Majesty, but are you sure it's a good idea? It could throw all the balance of the whole thing.
Nightmare Moon's horn lit up, and an ethereal aura surrounded the chariot.
No, if you're not now, I won't have any repercussions.
She glanced at the unicorn beside her. Rainbow Dash hesitated for a second, then flew in and landed as gently as she could. The chariot did not shake, even when Nightmare Moon let go, although an aura surrounding it remained. Sighing Pegasus looked at the aura curiously.
No pony can hear us talk while it's in effect.
Curiosity about the war assailed. Rainbow Dash looked at the other pony. The unicorn was looking away at the clouds in the land below. The black clothes she was wearing was made of a strange material that hung tight to her body. It had several pockets within easy reach of her hose. Two strange contraptions were tight around her front legs. A deep purple cloak covered most of her body, but she could make out that she had a white coat under all that black. Her mane was amazing, though. It was deep green and fell around her shoulders. She realized she was looking at the legendary Silent Jade.
I just realized, has it really been 2 years since the last time we did an Assassin's Creed joke on the show?
Queen had been observing the Pegasus and noticed the medallion.
That's an interesting accessory. Can you show it to me?
Rainbow Dash almost jumped.
She'd forgotten to hide her medallion. But wasn't her queen deserving of her loyalty? She struggled with the conflicting thoughts until she gritted her teeth. She slowly picked it up and with a shaking hoof showed it to the dark alicorn. Interesting, Nightmare Moon said, looking at it. Very interesting. Rainbow Dash looked at the medallion as a small crack appeared on it. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with me? Nightmare Moon smiled. Nothing is wrong with you, Rainbow Dash. Pegasus shook her head, trying to clear it. Something is wrong, she said in a whisper. I can feel it. It's not you. Another crack appeared. Dash looked at her council medallion with tears in her eyes. Then why? Remember, the unicorn said, how did you feel when Twilight died? Oranity, Fluttershy, and Pinkie Pie. A pang, like a knife being jabbed in the heart. How did you feel when you saw Twilight spark on Nightmare Flare? Shiver ran down Rainbow Dash's back. She was sweating and breathing hard. What was it like when Spitfire betrayed you? Nightmare Moon asked, ignoring the gasping Pegasus. Her eyes narrowed. How did you feel when Applejack realized that you betrayed her? Her world froze. She looked down as if she were moving in slow motion. The medallion around her neck crumbled to pieces as if crushed by an unseen force. In a flash, she relived her life. No council and nightmares in it until Spitfire had put the medallion around her neck. She had betrayed all she stood for, all her friends stood for. She had been personally responsible for her guardian of Wonderbolt dying unnecessarily. She felt a large wing gently around her as she was carefully pulled towards Nightmare Moon. She feebly tried to pull away, but the alicorn was stronger. She finally gave into the embrace and cried on Nightmare Moon's shoulder. It was several minutes before the Pegasus felt the hurricane herself again. She slowly pulled out of the embrace and stared at the alicorn in confusion. But how? Why? The alicorn stared straight ahead. It seems that somebody sought to control you with that medallion, and made you loyal to something to the point of betraying your true self. Nightmare Moon's smile was cold. However, the one responsible does not understand who you are at all. As powerful as the medallion may have been, it was no match for the enemy of loyalty. They couldn't have chosen more poorly. You would have broken out of it without my help in a couple of hours more at most. But why? The Pegasus asked again. Doesn't this benefit you? The Queen looked up to the eclipse. What travesty. She shook her head. Rainbow Dash stared, completely baffled. Finally, you're not Nightmare Moon. Not the one we fought. No, I am not. Alicorn confirmed. Anger and tears welled into Rainbow Dash. Then why did you kill my friends? Nightmare Moon laughed. But it wasn't an evil or going laugh. It was real mirth. Rainbow Dash, haven't you figured it out? They're alive. Pegasus was struck silent. They cannot be here, of course. Nightmare Moon continued. Nightmare Flare knows where they live, but they are safe. Once again, Rainbow Dash cried while the Queen and the assassin watched. Rainbow Dash, the alicorn said after a moment, and Pegasus looked up. I need to know, do I have your loyalty? Will you swear it to me? Rainbow Dash nodded. Then I have something very hard to ask you, but I promise it will be worth it in the end. Hi! Skitty-Leo! The little Pegasus turned toward the voice and waved at Sweet Belle and Apple Bloom as the two fillies ran up to her. What do you find happened? Apple Bloom asked. I'll never sling the Sunday light. Did the Pegasus do it? Sweet Belle asked. No, everyone's going completely nuts over it, Scooter said. They watched as the gray streak flashed across the sky. What was that? Apple Bloom wondered. Oh, it's just Ditsy. She's usually pretty good at delivering the mail before noon. And now, well, Scooter looked it up. It's something, but it's definitely the new location. That's got her all strung up about delivery times. The three looked to the sky for a moment. The Sweet Belle didn't notice the chariot. She said, pointing up a little hoof. He's Princess Celestia's chariot. Maybe she'll tell us what's happening. Or it could be Apple's taking the others, Apple Bloom said excitedly. Seems to be going straight for Ponyville. Let's go! By the time they arrived, word had already spread that the chariot was coming. Numerous ponies all around had gathered, waiting for it to land. The mayor was trying to keep calm while several Pegasus passed the word that it was one of the royal sisters, as relayed by Rainbow Dash, who had flown ahead to let her Pegasi friends know, and to tell them to spread the word, and that per the wishes of the royal sister, no pony should be left in the air until she left. Now the ponies watched in apprehension as the chariot did one more loop and descended. Here's Rainbow Dash! Scootaloo said excitedly, watching her idle flight down next to the chariot. She's so cool she gets to fly with the princesses, she guessed, turning to her friends, or looking at the chariot in horror. She heard gasps and turned around confused. It was not Princess Celestia walking out of the chariot. Suddenly, the eclipse made much more sense. She got a very sick feeling in her stomach as she watched Nightmare Moon step in front of the ponies, flanked on either side by Rainbow Dash and a strange-looking unicorn. Her mind flashed to that night when Nightmare Moon first appeared, hiding under the curtains, trembling as the evil laughed as the Alicorn sent Celestia's guards flying in all directions. The mayor found herself staring up at the Alicorn, mouth agape. Nightmare Moon looked down impassively. Rainbow Dash hesitated for a second before clearing her throat. "Oh, bow in the presence of Nightmare Moon!" The ponies of Ponyville turned to look at her in surprise, fear, and resentment. But when the Alicorn opened her wings majestically, they all bowed their heads. All but 3 of the Humor Crusaders, who stared in shock at what was happening. "Rainbow Dash?" Scootaloo whispered. "Citizens of Ponyville!" Nightmare Moon spoke up, making everyone cringe. "You are now ruled by myself and my sister, Nightmare Flare. Your lives will not be affected much. But as you can tell by now, the eclipse is not going away. This is your new life, and make the most of it." The ponies were confused. Who was Nightmare Flare? While Nightmare Moon had been talking to the crowd, the 2 Pegasi pulling her chariot had gotten loose and drawn knives. Rainbow Dash never knew exactly what made her jump to the side and tackle the guard as he flew past her. It might have been the mayor's eyes widening, or maybe the flare of wings. But whatever it was the incredible display of skill she had jumped back, dodging a knife strike as the Pegasus tried to skewer her. "You'll pay for the death of Swift Mantle!" the guard roared. Letting out his back hard, she pushed him down to the floor, but she didn't have enough momentum to make it count, and the guard was stronger than her. He pushed her off and struck, again missing her by mere inches as he dove to the side. "Who?" Rainbow Dash asked, dodging again. "My friend, the guard you and Twilight executed!" The ponies in the crowd shouted and reared back, horrified at what was happening, but unable or unwilling to move. More than a few guesses they heard the resentful words of the guard. Flying up fast, the guard in tow, Rainbow Dash turned and left, stealing a glance down. She gasped. Several of the ponies had flown up behind the guard to follow her, anger in her eyes, and way below, Silent Jane was already fighting several Earth ponies. Nightmare Moon had erected a shield around her as the unicorns threw objects of all sizes at her. There seemed to be no way other than doing something she might regret. She pulled up faster until she had enough of a distance. Then, with a graceful curve, she shot down towards them. Below her, the Humor Crusaders watched in horrified fascination as Rainbow Dash took off. There were angry mutters from the crowd, then several Pegasi shot up after her. "Go away!" some ponies shouted, and the apple flew through from the crowd only to splatter on the shield in front of Nightmare Moon. "We won't follow you, off there!" some pony else announced. "Go back to where you came from, monster!" Beside Nightmare Moon, Silent Jade inserted to the guard that attacked the Queen, while the other attacked the Alicorn. The guard was strong, but the unicorn was fast. She ducked under his wing and then seemed to disappear. Sweet Belle watched in horror as the guard collapsed with a groan. They stopped moving altogether as the assassin's hoof fell onto the back of his head. "No, no, no, no!" Several Earth ponies charged at the assassin, who looked at him in dismay and saw a quick, dirty look at Nightmare move as she dove forward. The Alicorn, for her part, seemed impassive as she watched the whole thing from within protection of her force field. She moved to the side as some pony bucked at her, using the momentum of her turn to plant both hooves in front of her attacker's ribs. There was a crack and a cry, the brown stallion falling to the floor in pain. She immediately kicked back, catching the mare in the chin, dropping her immediately. What are we going to do? Apple Bloom asked, scared as the crowd became more restless. I don't know, a teary-eyed Scootaloo answered, her eyes looking up at the aerial battle. On the one hand, she was in awe of her island taking so many Pegasi. She knew Dash could defeat them, but she was working for the enemy. She bit her lower lip, not knowing who she should be supporting. He had to stop! Sleebell whispered, staring at the assassin and the villagers attacking her. She'll kill them! When it seemed that everything was about to burst and the ponies would all attack, a huge explosion reverberated. The force of the air pressed on the ponies and the ground down, the wind whipping their manes wildly. A rainbow-colored blast wave expanded above them, and as every pony stared upwards, they could see all the Pegasi had flown after Rainbow Dash, falling towards the ground, unconscious. The sonic rain boom had the effect of making the already excitable ponies panic. The gathering turned into a stampede, and the three friends were caught in it. Scootaloo, Applebloom, and Sweetbell screamed and hugged each other, closing their eyes as every pony around them ignored them in favor of running away. Something smacked against them and they went rolling. They could hear all the noise around them as they kept trembling without any control. They kept screaming, knowing they would be trampled to death. Eventually, all quieted down and realized something was covering them. The three looked up in shock. What? Scootaloo pushed herself free and rolled on her back. They stared at the green-maned unicorn that had somehow managed to pick them up and roll with them all the way to the side. Black clothes were covered in hoof marks, and she wasn't moving much. What's it do like? Applebloom asked, pulling herself off from the unconscious unicorn. Sweetbell stood up and secretly shook the unicorn with her hoof. Jade, wake up! It's not funny! She said with tears in her eyes. Scootaloo pulled her back. What the hell are you doing? She's a bad guy! Shut up! Philly shouted back, pushing her friend away. You don't know what you're saying. So you will be all right. The three Cubite Crusaders flinched and slowly turned around. Nightmare Moon stood behind them, horn alight with magical energies. Around them, the Pegasi that had charged out the Rainbow Dash slowly folded to the ground, unconscious. The only remaining pony was the mare, who Nightmare Moon had somehow captured as every pony else ran. They could only stare in horror and amazement at what the two Pegasus ponies under Nightmare Moon's orders had been able to achieve by themselves. Scootaloo! Sweetbell! Applebloom! A rainbow suddenly smashed into them, and they found themselves tugged tightly by Rainbow Dash. Are you okay? Did anything happen to you? We're fine, Applebloom said. Can't breathe. Let go! I need to check on Jade, Sweetbell said, pulling free of the Pegasus. Scootaloo didn't say anything, but she wouldn't meet Rainbow Dash's eyes. She shook herself free and didn't look up. Rainbow made Pegasus sighed and went away. Nightmare Moon's horn sparked with energy, and a white aura surrounded the unconscious unicorn. Oh, sounded Jane moan. She shook her head carefully and opened her azure eyes. Suddenly she shot up to her feet, looking around in a panic until she saw the three fillies. She sighed in relief. Nightmare Moon growled, levitating the trembling mare towards them and dropped her on the floor. Mare, be thankful that this display took place only when I was around. My sister would have had every pony involved in the attack made an example of. The mayor cringed, not daring to look up at the opposing unicorn. You need to make sure to stand up to your position as leader of Ponyville, and make sure that this never happens again. Yes, the great pony stuttered. Take every pony to the hospital. No pony is dead, this time. Nightmare Moon looked down at Rainbow Dash and Silent Jade. We are heading back now. The two ponies nodded and followed the queen as she made her way to the chariot. Why? Applebloom shouted. Rainbow Lions! What happened to the others? Pegasus hesitated, looking back. Applejack is fine, Applebloom. I hope she'll be able to come home soon. What about the others? Scootaloo suddenly asked in a cold voice. Have we only seen you, Rainbow Dash? Applejack might be fine, but what about Fluttershy? Or Pinkie Pie? Her eyes narrowed. We're Rarity and Twilight. And why are you working for Nightmare Moon? The last question had a hint of hurt and betrayal. Rainbow Dash looked away so she wouldn't see the hurt in her eyes. Sorry, girls. That's all I can see for now. You should just head home. He started walking again. Wait! Sleepbell said, running up to the assassin. Are you doing this, Jade? The unicorn looked down at her, but shook her head, trying to catch up with Nightmare Moon and Dash. Once the three were together, next to the chariot, the unicorn's horn flashed, and they were gone. Applejack was breathing heavily. A sheen of sweat covered her whole body. After what had happened, the pillows and mattress were never going to be the same. Fine, Twilight Spark panted. Applejack looked at her but didn't bulge. I will admit, I'm impressed, Twilight said behind pants. I've never seen an earth pony do anything like that. Applejack's eyes narrowed. I will stop my advances. For now, Twilight said, sinking to the floor. She glared up at Applejack's mattress fortress. How you did it is beyond me, but it kept me away. I'm not getting out of here until you're gone, Twilight. Unicorn drooped a bit. Why don't you care about me, Applejack? Earth pony within the pillow and mattress fortress was silent. Twilight Spark groaned and stood up on shaking legs. Without words, he made for the door. I'll do care, Twilight. Applejack's voice emanated from within the pillows. You're one of my best friends. But what you are doing is wrong. The way you're doing things is wrong. I don't know what happened to you, but you have to know there's something very strange about you now. You're not the same Twilight I knew. When everything that has happened, our friends, the pigs out on the balcony, Nightmare Moon, Nightmare Flare, Twilight, I can't understand how you could be like this. You never were. Suddenly, you want to have a relationship with me? I was a bookworm, Twilight said, looking into the fortress. I was too shy to say it before. No, Twilight, there's more to it. Applejack sighed audibly. Please, go and think about it. It can't be all gone. Please. Twilight took a deep breath, walked slowly out of the room, closing the door behind her. Applejack watched as the spell made the door glow for a bit. She waited, but Twilight did not barge back in. The Earth Pony collapsed on the mattress, completely exhausted. She closed her eyes and fell asleep.